Today, we've got a hands-on demo for Green Lantern, previews for 3 brand new Capcom games, and a cheat from Bulletstorm.
Plus, an exclusive level from the new game by the creator of Rez, and an indie title that might cause fistfights. X-Play starts right now.
Hello and welcome to X-Play, the only video game show produced from international waters. I'm Adam Sessler.
And I'm Morgan Webb. I mean, how else do you think we get away with this?
We have our own currency. On today's show, get all the details about Capcom's newest games, Dead Rising 2 off the record, Asura's Wrath, and Dragon's Dogma.
Ugh, worst name ever.
Then we've got a brutally honest review of The Conduit for the Wii.
Plus, Blair and I attempt to play one of the most frustrating indie games ever created. And later we'll get to the bottom of Pokemon. If you can't figure out why people like it, maybe we can help.
I've always wanted to see Pokemon's bottom. But first, it's time to fear the color yellow.
And discover dead girlfriends in your fridge.
This June, test pilot Hal Jordan finally gets his big screen debut in Green Lantern.
And 10 days before the movie is released, you can check out the tie-in game, Rise of the Manhunters.
Here's a hands-on look. Green Lantern, Rise of the Manhunters takes Hal Jordan out of the pilot seat and puts him on consoles for the first time. Wield the One Ring to create powerful constructs and restore peace to the universe. Do you have the willpower to stop what's coming in brightest day? In blackest night? It is my absolute pleasure to be joined by Jeff Johns, easily one of the greatest writers in the comic book medium and the chief creative officer of DC Entertainment.
Yep.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We are going to talk about Green Lantern, Rise of the Manhunters, which is the video game. It's not an adaptation of the movie, but it runs somewhat parallel to the movie?
Yeah, it lives in, the thing I like about it, it's not an adaptation of the movie, but it lives in the same world of the movie. So it's got the same designs, the same kind of history, the same things, but things that you haven't seen in the movie are also in the game.
How do the constructs allow for that sense of freedom and power in Green Lantern?
Well, I think part of it is you're learning how to be a Green Lantern. You're still kind of a rookie, but also as you power up, you unlock more constructs, and the constructs all act differently. It's not just like a different blast, and the Manhunter's taken down the same or whatever. But like, I don't know if you saw the spiked maces that come out and swing out with a big sword, or the huge F-35 that mows everyone down, which is the one I like the best.
Obviously, there's co-op, and I think for people who are Green Lantern fans, hearing that you could partner up with Sinestro was like, hold on, that's not, but this isn't, the earlier iteration before he was Renegade.
Yeah, this is when Sinestro is the greatest Green Lantern still. He's considered the greatest. Everyone looks up to him. But yeah, it's early in the career. It's before he went Renegade. Spoiler alert. And yeah, that's a part of the fun, though, is seeing Hal and Sinestro together in the film and in the game and working side by side and begrudgingly, learning to respect one another.
What was kind of the aim to make sure that the player really did feel like they were Green Lantern in the course of the game?
I think the key is that the constructs is being able to unlock those constructs, use them in tandem with the other player, and kick ass. And I think that's getting that right and getting the visual and making it really, really fun is key.
When I was thinking about Green Lantern, I kind of would put him with Superman in that challenge where their powers are so large, so overwhelming to any enemy. How do you create that sense of challenge?
Everybody always says, how do you fight Superman? And I say, just throw something bigger at him. Like, he will get hurt. You just got to put something stronger than him against him. And Manhunters are strong. Like, in the comic books, Hal Jordan bleeds when he gets hit. He's not invulnerable. They have a lot of power, but the power drains.
Green Lantern, Rise of the Manhunters is coming out on the
June 7th.
June 7th, and it's PS3 and Xbox 360.
It's on like a bunch of them, like everything. Yeah. And it's 10 days before the movie.
Jeff, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, man.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure.
Definitely better that Adam did that interview because they don't like it when you drool on them while you speak, and that's what would have happened if I would have talked to Jeff Johns. I love that guy. Listen, the Xbox indie game Pew 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 Pew. It's got a weird title, obviously, but it also has a very unique concept. You actually control the game with your voice.
So to play this game, you need a friend, 2 headsets, and the restraint to not start murdering people, like Blair.
Like Morgan.
If you like looking ridiculous, you're gonna love Pew 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 Pew. That's precisely 9 pews for all you people playing along at home. This simple yet irresistible gem was originally developed for Global Game Jam 2011 by Josh Schonstall and Ian Brock. You'll need 2 Xbox-enabled microphones and a friend. One player controls altitude.
Up, 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 up.
The other shoots.
Pew, 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 pew.
And, well, we'll see for yourself.
I can't pee while you're watching.
Sure, you're supposed to say pew 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 and up up up, but really, any noise will do.
Meow, 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 meow. All right, so I was playing Portal, and even though I've already played the co-op campaign once, I ended up playing it again, and it's amazing how much of it that you forget the second time around.
Oh, I really like roast beef sandwiches sometimes with special cheese.
Any noise.
That is a little much, don't you think?
And if you're a cheating cheater who cheats, tapping the microphone actually works best of all. Pew 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 is cute, simple fun. So why does it always end in tears?
Up, 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 up. Up, 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 up,
That's
up.
not annoying at all. You know, pretty much when we die is like always your fault. Hey, okay, red,
Oh, that's you. What happened was you yelled
Red-
into my personal bubble, and
red
my mic picked
spike.
up your bullshit.
Don't hit the red spikes.
I really wish this game was one player right now.
Nice work.
No,
You're very
what-
talented.
I heard you. Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew.
If saying pew noises and destroying friendships sounds like a good time to you, pew 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 is up on Xbox Live Arcade Indie Games section for just a couple of bucks.
That brought back memories of Lifeline. Bark like a dog. Don't go anywhere, because we've got an X-Play exclusive you won't see anywhere else, a new level from Child of Eden. Plus, all the details about 3 new games from Capcom. A review of the Wii shooter The Conduit 2, and Kristen Adams has a cheat for Bulletstorm. We'll be right back. Woof.
Hey, thanks for coming back. Now, if you want to get good at something, I suppose you could spend a lot of time practicing, studying, and putting forward your best effort. Or you could just listen to Kristen Adams and cheat, which is a whole lot easier.
Pulling off skill shots is the key to surviving in Bulletstorm. More points equals more weapons and upgrades. 2 of the fastest ways to boost your score involves fire and mind-altering substances. I'll show you what you need to do in this cheat. Boosting your score in Bulletstorm is one of the most important things a person can do with their lives. Well, I guess getting married or graduating college is significant too. But what are you going to do with a marine biology degree anyway? Take it from me, kids. Dolphins don't do the dishes when it's their turn, and they're horrible tippers. Stay away from them. Anyway, one of the easiest techniques to bump your score is to constantly get the X-ray skill shot.
Hot damn, baby!
Use the Peacemaker Carbine's alt-fire to vaporize multiple enemies in one shot, and you'll be rewarded handsomely with extra points. It only requires 2 or more kills, so it's not that hard to do.
Quality shooting!
If you want to challenge yourself, you can try out a fancy skill shot called French Revolution.
All that be dead echo skills!
Arm yourself with the flail gun and use its alt-fire to decapitate 3 enemies or more in a single shot.
Fountain of death!
While most of the skill shots in the game give you less points the more you use them, both X-Ray and French Revolution give you the same bonus no matter how frequently you do them. And finally, we have some tips for the game's ridiculous mini-bosses. Since there are 3 ways to kill them, and you get 750 points for a new skill shot per level, it's important to mix up your murdering MO. The first is Whiplash. That's where you stun a boss and use the leash to whip off his helmet. Stun him a second time, leash his head, and it'll pop right off. The second is Kickoff. Get rid of the helmet and give him a solid booting to the face. Number 3 is Fire in the Hole. You stun a boss, then kick the glowing flap over his booty. Unload your screamer for the worst case of indigestion ever.
A symphony of death!
Follow these tips and you'll be score boosting like a professional Bulletstorm player in no time. And don't forget to stay away from the dolphins. For For more Bulletstorm cheats and all the latest tips and tricks, be sure to go to g4tv.com/cheat. Right now, I'm going to send it back over to Adam.
Thanks, Kristen. Capcom recently announced several games, and they couldn't be more different. They've got one that looks like a Western-style fantasy epic, a remake of Dead Rising 2 with Frank West, and the absolutely ridiculous Asura's Wrath. We've got all the details in this preview. South Beach. Life can be tough for a video game journalist sometimes. The warm sand, the ocean breeze, sipping Mai Tais on the beach. A tough, tough life indeed. Wait, why was I here again? Oh, right, Capcom, Captivate. Not long ago, the fine folks at Capcom were generous enough to invite us to this lovely paradise to fill us in on their next line of blockbuster games, starting with Asura's Wrath.
Asura's Wrath takes elements from Asian mythology and blends them with science fiction. In the game, Asura is a demigod fighting to reclaim his daughter from the deities who kidnapped her and banished him to Earth.
Unlike most action games where you can level up and acquire new abilities, Asura's fighting style will change according to the story.
Asura's fighting styles are all predicated upon the different story or dramatic beats in the game. So at certain points in the game, if Asura gets extremely angry, you might see him fight with 6 arms. At even later points in the game, Asura might get beat down and lose most of his arms.
Now, if you're looking for thrills that are more down to earth, how about revisiting the perils of Fortune City with Dead Rising 2 Off the Record?
Frank West is back in the game.
Originally, Dead Rising 2, there was a director's cut plan for it. Instead, it became, how do we reimagine the Fortune City outbreak with Frank West as the hero?
In this alternate take of Dead Rising 2, Frank West has hit rock bottom. To reclaim his fame, he becomes a wrestler on the zombie-killing game show Terror is Reality.
This is a tougher Frank West in a deadlier Fortune City, so even though we've taken the zombies, increased the density, made them more aggressive, we've also made sure to make Frank more capable so that he can actually rise to that challenge.
What would you have done differently?
Challenges of epic proportions are certainly a running theme in Capcom's upcoming games, and Dragon's Dogma is no different.
Dragon's Dogma is an action-adventure-based sword and sorcery game that takes place in this huge open-world peninsula.
You'll have 3 classes to choose from: the tank-like fighter, the quick and nimble strider, and of course a magic-wielding mage to slay monsters with. Along the way, you'll find some help to defeat these majestic beasts.
Today, we've introduced the Griffin, the Hydra, and of course the Dragon. All the bosses have specific weak spots, but it's up to you to find them. Your party composition will also determine how well you fight against these bosses, so you have to figure that out as well.
Sounds like fun. South Beach, your Mai Tais were amazing, and Capcom, you've been a lovely host. If the games are as good as they look, we look forward to seeing them again sometime soon.
Pokemon Black and White for the Nintendo DS sold over 1 million copies on launch day. Let me repeat that. Over 1 million copies. If that statistic angers and confuses you, it's probably because you're not well versed in the series. All you need is to understand how Pokemon works, and this video is a good start.
I'm Steven Johnson, and I'm going to learn about Pokemon. What are these Pokemons?
Okay, so the creatures are the animals, I guess, and they have special powers. You can have fire and ice and electricity and dark and psychic and rock and bug and flying. Did I say dragon?
I don't remember if you said dragon.
There's also dragon.
What's the name of your favorite Pokemon?
Espeon, it is the psychic evolution of Eevee. An Eevee is a type of Pokemon. It is a normal type, and normally you would avoid the normal types, but this is a very special Eevee.
So it's a special normal one?
It's a special normal. It's not special in the fact that it's normal. It's special in that it can be not normal.
The Pokemon animals have different evolutionary phases?
Yes. Squirtle, for example. He starts out as Squirtle. Level 16 evolves into Wartortle. Level 36 evolves into Blastoise. And that's basic evolution.
What do they do?
Hang out in the grass, and then I don't think Pokemon really do anything. They kind of just chill in harmony until you walk through the grass and counter them, make them fall asleep, use some poison powder or whatever, and then you throw a ball at them and capture them.
And when you've captured them, do you pit them against one another?
Well, you don't pit your own against each other. Once they're yours, they all live in they're peace, like a little army of Pokemon, and they get transported into a storage system, which I don't actually know where that goes. They've never explained that.
So what you're saying is that it's a little like dogfighting, except for with mystical animals.
Yeah.
All right, don't go anywhere, because after the break, we've got an exclusive look at the trippy Child of Eden with a new level you're not going to see anywhere else until somebody steals it off our show and puts it on the internet. Plus, we're going to review the Wii first-person shooter The Conduit 2. You'll be right back. Told you you'd be back, and you're not wearing pants. Cool. The Wii isn't exactly the console to own if you're a first-person shooter fan, because you're basically relegated to lesser ports of the games you'd buy on the PS3 or the Xbox. The Conduit 2, however, is an exception. It was actually made specifically for the console and features all of the bells and whistles you'd see in other shooters. So find out how it stacks up against the competition in our review. Conduit 2 is out right now on the Nintendo Wii, and it features a very deep and complex story.
This? I took it from a psychotic progenitor named John Adams. Ever since then, he's been trying to kill me, I've been trying to kill him. It's sort of a thing we have.
Oh no, my bad. I meant to say it features a story. Your goal is to track down and kill John Adams, who leads a secret government organization.
My name's Michael Ford.
Thanks, buddy. Michael is a bit of a tool. But fortunately for him, he's got his friend Prometheus to help him clean up his act.
Aren't you a disembodied alien in a ball?
With Prometheus at your side, you'll chase Adams everywhere from the US to China to catch him. Traveling across the globe is definitely a nice touch that helps keep the game fresh. But back at home, Prometheus even helped you find a sweet bachelor pad.
Wow, nice digs.
Yep, I'm just gonna ignore that. Mr. Ford is a master of weaponry, and this game definitely has some sweet weapons. Not to mention the fact that they control very easily with the addition of the Wii Motion Plus. The only problem is that the assault rifles are really handy and you won't want to use any other gun. And if you're not going to change your accessories, then we need you to change your outfit. Prometheus has just the thing for you.
Cool duds.
Dude, seriously, you gotta stop saying things like that. Conduit 2 features competitive online multiplayer and offers you a variety of game modes. While this may sound nice, it struggles with frame rate issues, players disappearing, and frenetic gameplay.
I will need to awaken Andromeda.
Alright, this is it. He got you a girl.
Andromeda is a stone-cold fox.
I give up, man. With a variety of guns and locations, fans of the first game will definitely enjoy this one. But people new to the franchise may not find the story compelling or the multiplayer to be all that impressive. Conduit 2 gets a 3 out of 5.
Tetsuya Mizuguchi might not be the most famous game designer in the world, but his resume, that is very impressive.
Yes, Res, Luminous, Every Extend Extra, and Space Channel 5! If you haven't played those games, shame on you.
Shame. His new game is coming to the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 this June. Here's an exclusive look at a never-before-seen level from Child of Eden.
Mizuguchi's synesthetic trip down the rabbit hole just got a little trippier. Welcome to Passion, the fourth archive in Child of Eden. Child of Eden changes gears momentarily in Passion before plunging back into neon ecstasy as cells divide, proto-humans frolic, and trains and rockets blast through tunnels. Whatever that's supposed to mean, Freud. While you might be tempted to sit back, have a mooncake, and enjoy the scenery, remember this is a shooter, and everything will shoot back at you. Your mission is to purify the once perfectly pristine Eden, the internet of the future that houses all of humanity's knowledge. It has been infected by a virus that threatens more than just Eden. It threatens the child of Eden, Lumi. Project Lumi is in peril from the infection, and without your help, she will never be reproduced within Eden's digital domain. Whether you're moving, using a standard controller, or connecting with Child of Eden, there are a few tricks you'll need to learn in order to purify Eden and save Lumi. The Euphoria Bomb does exactly what you think it does. Release these neon nukes and soak in the happy. The Vulcan Cannon is the spray and pray weapon. Purifier in your arsenal. While locking on res style and firing to the beat will earn you a perfect octalock and a higher score multiplier. Earn a high enough score, clear each of the 5 stages, and you'll be able to unlock special features like a beatbox variation, a 17-bit mode, and a visual effects style called Trip. The idea that this isn't trippy enough is exactly why I can't wait to see more Child of Eden. Very, very excited for that game. Obviously, Space Channel 5 was one of my favorite games of all time.
I was a huge fan of Rez. I think I was able to read light signals more easily back in those days of yore, so we'll just see what happens, Start doing the Twitch.
Thanks for watching. Don't do that.